I am Greg Shapiro, Gregory Shapiro online, and I am a comedian, American and Dutchman, and these days my email signature says Trump joke maker. I'm the voice of the Netherlands' second video, which was so fantastic. It was tremendous. In this context, I think I have to say my voice. And ever since I was a little kid in school, everyone in the class would be talking, but the teacher would yell at me. And this is what my teachers will still tell me from way back when, that it was my voice that carried. And if you look at me, I'm scrawny. I've got this, slender build, but somehow I managed to kick out a good bit of sound. There have been dark moments, honestly. I just had one the other day, when you go your own way. Like I have my own YouTube channel now. Great. And I am 100% responsible for my own creative content. I don't have some producer saying what you need is a laugh track. And I keep saying, please no laugh track. And I keep losing that battle. No, I have 100% creative control. The downside is then you see someone, someone else getting a lot more traction, a lot more positive reactions. And you may wonder, what am I doing wrong? It can always be frustrating when you're, the grass is always greener on the other side, and boy, it's difficult sometimes. But I just had to sort of take myself aside and give myself, I actually journal. So I was writing like letters to myself. And I kind of told myself, like, you have what you wanted. You have creative control. And if sometimes the price to pay is you don't have all the exposure necessarily, is it still worth it? And the answer is yes. You just can't keep staring at these numbers or views or reactions. And it's like watching a kettle boil, just... you got to just keep focused on what next? What do I, keep moving, keep moving forward, I guess. I have kids now who are in high school and maybe looking to university and leaving the nest and finding their own way. And my wife and I have both found ourselves sort of independently coaching the kids to do what you love more than choose something that is safe. Only because, I saw some survey about what people do for work at the moment. And, think about what are you doing now versus what you studied. It turns out the majority of people study one thing but end up doing something totally unrelated for work. And let's assume that that's going to be true. I was reading a story from Michael Lewis, who writes about Wall Street, like The Big Short. And he also wrote like Moneyball. He studied art history, so he said, and he went to go for a job on Wall Street because he wanted to make money. Safe option, and they said, why would we hire someone with an art history degree on Wall Street? And then he said, I don't know, because no one else has that. And they said, you know what, you're right, yeah, sure. And they brought him on. So it's not necessarily a liability to follow your heart and try to develop, a passion, something that you're passionate about. And as we're telling our kids as well, life is long. And even if you fall in love with cultural anthropology or something, or philosophy in your 20s, That doesn't mean that in your 30s, you'll maybe go back and study something totally different. And that's good. Everybody ends up with their own unique sort of mix of subjects and studies and passions. And that's what makes us unique. Well, one practical tip I think I mentioned is journaling. And, you know, there's something about putting pen to paper for me, which is fairly old school, I guess. But it was taught to me like writing a letter, either to your future self or to your, you know, to your past self, to your higher self. You can write anything. Sometimes it's just getting stuff out of your system. And maybe that is helpful for people to have an outlet for all the stupid stuff, you know, which is also good because then in the future, when you look back at your old journals, you can think, oh, I was so stupid back then. I've learned so much. And I've done that with old journals. You go back and yeah. Unfortunately, sometimes you also have the realization, oh, I was smarter back then. Anyway, it's all good. So yeah, I even have a little journal called a line a day journal, and it actually has on each page it has this year, next year. It's like 5 years down the line. So once you sort of just fill it in page by page by page, just a line a day. Today, you know, we sat at home and ate popcorn and watched a movie. And then a year later, you can check back. Oh, what was I doing a year ago today? And then 5 years down the line. Even just one line a day can be really powerful in giving you perspective and insight on how far you've come.